Hey everybody, how is it going today? Well, I hope you're all having a great weekend so far. In this video, I'm going to be doing a Bionano Genomics update. I haven't done an update video on BNGO in a few days, and it has since made a pretty sizable move to the upside. So I want to go over that price action. Plus, I want to go over their recent news that came out about a day or so ago. And then I want to go over a couple of charts that I think will present some great trading opportunities for next week. Now, if you're new to my channel, I like to find short-term and long-term trading opportunities in typically lower-priced stocks. Not only will I talk about the featured stock in the video, but I also try to present at least a couple other nice-looking tradable opportunities that are happening currently in the market. So if that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss any future trading ideas. But please remember, I am not a financial advisor, so please do all of your own research before buying any of these stocks. Well, in the recent news article, it said, the next generation cytogenomics symposium was a blockbuster success for Bionano Genomics as it skyrocketed the stock over 75% on the week. It said that interest was clear as Bionano Genomics presented its Sapphire platform at the next generation cytogenic symposium and impressed medical professionals with its accuracy in detecting tumors, as well as saving doctors time and money without having to run extra costly tests or scans. BNGO also announced that it would be revealing information on how Sapphire can detect genetic drivers that lead to increased susceptibility to COVID. The Sapphire platform is able to identify structural variants in genes that have control over potential immune system responses, thus determining why some people react severely to COVID while others only remain symptomatic. Now, probably one of the main drivers this week in BNGO stock was the speculation of the interest from ARK Invest. And this article mentioned that ARK investor Simon Barnett was reported to be interested in speaking with Bionano Genomics CEO Dr. Robert Eric Homeland late in 2020. So investors are anticipating that BNGO could be added to ARK's Genomics ETF fund, ARKG, at some point in the near future, especially after its impressive showing at the symposium. So there you have it, more speculation about how ARK Invest could be adding BNGO to their portfolio. And I think if ARK is so bullish on this sector as they say they are, it only makes sense to at least add a little of BNGO if they haven't already. And this article also talked about the recent share offering as well, saying Bionano took its stock price gains as an opportunity to bolster its cash reserves by adding roughly $100 million via a stock sale, and it now has a much stronger balance sheet, placing Bionano Genomics in a far more solid position from which to operate. All right, well, let's get to the fun part. Let's go over to the charts. This is the daily chart of Bionano Genomics, ticker symbol BNGO. A couple of videos ago, I made it when the stock was right about here, and I said as soon as this white line catches up to price, wouldn't be a bit surprised if we got a slingshot move to a new high, and that is exactly what happened. This happens a lot with this moving average, guys, so if you're not using it, you need to certainly add that to your repertoire. But if any of you did use this as an opportunity to buy this stock, congratulations, because you are up a pretty decent amount. Even though it did pull back late in the day on Friday, it's still looking very bullish. It's holding above this previous high, so there's no reason to think that it could be coming back down to earth anytime soon, but you never know when a stock is this far extended. They could turn around any day, but you can see how much more volume moved into this stock the last 2 days versus, the previous 5 or 6 days. So there's still a lot of healthy buying in this stock, and it wouldn't surprise me one bit if this thing is over double digits next week, because it's still so strong, and there's still that speculation swirling around about ARK Invest being interested. And I haven't seen any purchases of ARK Invest come across that email that I get where they talk about their purchases for the day. but I wouldn't be a bit surprised if that's coming pretty soon, especially with BNGO climbing towards double digits already. But let's go intraday and take a little bit closer look of the move that it had the last couple days. All right, well, let's get to the hourly chart first. And as we can see from that last video, it had the move up, but I did that last video right around here when it was pulling back as the 8-period exponential moving average was rising up into it. And of course, your buy signal would have been the move up where it held this 8-period exponential moving average on the hourly chart. And as it held that moving average, you can see it started its next move up, just like it did back a few weeks ago, where it jumped above the 8-period exponential moving average, and it just used that average for the slingshot cushion move up, if you will. But once the stock starts pulling back, you wait for it to get back above it and see if it can hold it. You know, right here was a gap up, and it just kind of meandered sideways, so that wasn't super strong. If it would have, had another big green candle right here, like it did here, then that would have been your signal to get in on the next swing move up. But this chart still looks really healthy. It looks like it broke below the 8-period exponential moving average at the end of the day on Friday, but it rallied at probably in the last hour or so, in the last half hour, to get back above that moving average. So this is still a very healthy uptrend on the intraday chart. And let's go a little bit further intraday. Let's go to the 15-minute. All right, well, if we go to the 15-minute chart and take a little closer look at this price action and take a closer look at the uptrend, we can see when it starts pulling back, you don't get so worried about the shorter term time moving averages on this shorter time frame. What you want to do is have it hold the longer moving averages, and that's exactly what it did. Is it held the 200 on this occasion right here, and then also right before this recent move up. And as of right now, it is just bouncing off of the 50-period simple moving average on the 15-minute chart. So that is also a good sign. It's not very high above it, but at least it's back above this resistance area, or I should say it's a support area. It was resistance before it broke through it, but it's back above it. So there's really no need to be worried about this trend just yet. The trend is still on your side if you're long here. So I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we see double digits pretty early next week. The stock is still pretty extended, so a pullback here would be healthy. It wouldn't be anything to worry too much about if you're a long-term investor in BNGO. But if you're playing the swings, this is definitely still a nice-looking uptrend. So keep playing that swing to the upside, because there's no need to get out until it looks like the trend has broken, and it hasn't as of yet. Well, all right, let's get to another trading opportunity that I see in the market right now. Now, for whatever reason, there wasn't a ton of nice-looking charts showing up on my scans on Friday, but I did find a couple of them. Sometimes there is a ton, sometimes there's only one or two to choose from. But the first one I want to show you was Sorrento Therapeutics, ticker symbol ONTX. As we can see, this one is moving up the 8-period exponential moving average nicely. The only thing that I am seeing that I don't like on this chart is this big, fat, ugly resistance area right up here that it is going to be butting its head up against. Actually, it pretty much is at the moment. So, unfortunately, I think this area could offer some resistance, but this stock has been red hot. It's been going from under 25 cents to now over 80 cents, but it is approaching that resistance area, and it is extended. So, actually, I wouldn't be surprised if it has another pullback, and if it can consolidate up around 75 cents or so, and then just keep putting pressure against this resistance area, I think it has an extremely good chance of blasting through it and having an extended run. So I'm thinking ONTX is definitely worth keeping on your watch list, and if it can bust through this resistance area, this one could be a very nice gainer, because we can see that a lot of volume has been piling into this stock. You keep getting these gaps up, these gap ups, and it pulls back a little bit, gap up, pulls back, and now it is starting to accelerate this trend to the upside. If this big, nasty resistance area wasn't sitting right there, I would be a lot more optimistic about this stock. But if you have an obstacle in the way, you always have to consider it and not just jump in. Let's see if this thing can push through it before we get too excited about going long this stock. But everything else looks like it's looking super good, and this one is definitely worth keeping on our watch list. All right, let's get to the next one. Now, the second one I am a little bit more excited about. This is Sorrento Therapeutics, ticker symbol SRNE. I actually did a video about this company probably a couple of months ago, but they are in the race for a COVID vaccine. It has also some other decent-looking therapies in their pipeline, so I'll link that video towards the end of this one if you want to check that out, if you want to know a little bit more about Sorrento Therapeutics. But as of the chart pattern right now, we can see that it was holding support right at the 200 simple moving average. Did not break below it. It has been riding it up, and now it looks like it is starting to blast off. If you guys seen some of my other videos, you know that this is one of my favorite long-term trading patterns for a stock that is, well, a lower price stock, even though this one is rapidly approaching double digits. But Sorrento definitely has a great chance of making a sustainable uptrend, because it's blasted above all these moving averages, and it's now blasted above the recent resistance area. So what you would want to see for a nice entry point was just a hold of this resistance area till the moving average catches up to it, and then it could start the next slingshot move up. But let's go to the hourly chart and take a closer look at this recent run-up. Well, when we look at the hourly chart, we can see we had this false breakdown, and then it immediately got right back up into this general consolidation area and started to meander sideways. We saw volume piling in when the stock had moves up, and now it has blasted above this resistance area and is holding up quite nicely so far. So as long as it can hold this resistance area, I think it has a great chance of skyrocketing higher once the 8-period moving average and maybe even the 21-period catches up to it on the daily chart. But you can see this is a very nice rounded bottom. It's got the lows start to rise, and then it blasts through the resistance area. So, I mean, all systems are go on SRNE. All we need is a hold and then another test of support from that moving average, and we could be off to the races on SRNE. So this one is definitely my favorite of the two. I think this one has the best chance to get in a nice sustainable uptrend. But SRNE definitely worth watching for next week. All right, well, before I close the video down, I do want to touch base on a stock that we talked about a few videos ago that was coming down into a support area. It's Fans Unite Entertainment, ticker symbol FUNFF. This thing was trading under $1. It actually still is trading under $1, so there are some nice swings available on this stock, and this stock is in a very hot sector, but you can see it came down to that support area, had a nice swing high up. You know, what you want to do is, when the stock has a move up and you're looking to get in on the pullback, if you get a deeper one like this that's pulling into a support area, that's usually a pretty good, a pretty decent area to grab some shares and try to play that next swing up. Actually, let's go intraday, because there isn't a ton of information on this chart. There just hasn't been around long enough. But let's go to the hourly chart. We'll probably see a little better. All right, well, getting to the hourly chart, we can see this swing a lot clearer. Had a bounce off of the support area, jumped right back above that 8-period exponential moving average, and when it does that, you know, that's when you can buy the stock and see if it goes on one of these runs. You never know what a stock is going to do, but before it goes on one of those big runs, it's got to get above that 8-period exponential moving average, and it's got to hold it. So that's like your trigger signal. A lot of people call that 8-period exponential moving average the T line, which means the trigger line, and that is when you get into the stock and try to ride it to the upside. You know, just like it did here. Had a nice move up to over 90 cents from, you know, right around 60 cents. So that was about a 50% move up. You know, sometimes when it gets above it, it doesn't go so far. You never know how high it's going to go. I mean, sometimes you get going just a little bit and then it breaks right back down below it. And, you know, then you can either get out or you can see what it does. I like to get out. Usually when it breaks that average, and then if it can get back above it and it looks healthy, then I'll try to re-enter it. But for the most part, I just wait for it to hold support, then get back above that 8-period exponential moving average, and that is when you have your best chance of catching a trend early. But I just wanted to go over that FUNFF chart because it was just a beautiful swing move up. All right, guys, well, that's all I have for this one. But if you have any questions or comments on any of these stocks, please don't hesitate to leave them down there in the comment section, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed the content, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already so you don't miss any future trading opportunities. Thank you so much for watching my video all the way to the end, and until next time, take care, everybody.